Hello guys, welcome to our next video about Python internals. Today we are going to add dunder len and built-in len methods to the integer type. It will simply return the 0. This is the useless things, but it's important to cover up how actually we can add this support to unsupported object type. So what we want to do, as you see, is an empty list, and every list has the dunder len method, which returns the length of the fields, actually the count of the fields inside the list. But for list object, it will return simply the object size here. With integer, there is no such support because it's useless to have the length of the integer, because the integer has no length. But we want what we want is just 0. So for now, it gives us the int object has no attribute dunder len. And let's start to implementing this feature and adding the dunder len support. But first of all, let's just check out to the different branch len support int object, for example. Yes. And what we want to do here, like to figure out how we can add extra methods to the object. So for analogy, I want to describe the list iterator here, which returns a list iterator object and creates actually list iterator object from the list type. And they declare such things that if you want to add some kind of new function here, for example, list iter len, is going to have the name, then the function itself, and the doc for this function. The same thing applies to if you want to add the dunder len support to the integer object, then we should do the same thing here. That's why I'm going to add some the function which returns just 0, and then I'm going to add some doc for this function, and let's see after that what's going to happen. So creating now I'm going to name it as int length, and it's going to accept, for example, by long object. Oops, sorry. We are not going to use this, but it's just a signature, as I have copied it from the list object implementation. And it's just, for example, it's just returning pi long, you should recall it, from long and 0. That's it for the function itself. And extra thing like pydoc str_var, so we are going to name it length doc and some kind of doc for here, private method returning 0 as len of integer. Quite useless, yeah. And we should register the function in long methods here. So what we want to do is like name it. So we want to be this to be named dunder len we're going to cast it to pyc function as they did here. So this just, I'm going to copying here the name of the function itself, so int length, which we have declared above, then just another copy and yep, and length doc, not length hint doc, not length doc. That should be enough actually. Then let's compile. Let's compile it. So make easy. So now just describing, let me just clear up. And dear k, also let's see the type of k. So it's an integer type, but for now it should have already the len. So so this is totally different from what we have seen here. As you see, for the integer type there is no len, but now we have add this support. And let's just call this function to see if it works. Yes, so for every the length of every integer we are going to return 0 here. But how about the len built-in function? So as you see, there are two different things. So dunder len is a special method here, but we have also the built-in methods, which is declared in the built-in module C in the objects in the Python folder under the CPython source code, and we should add this support also here. So I'm just going to further harass the CPython source code here, and let me just continue improving our the support here. So let's just search for built-in len. So built-in len, right? The built-in len is returning the size of the object here. So let's just dig into. As you see, where's this error about? Yes, object type int has no len. So we can add the support right above here. So if just checks the type of the object, if it's the integer, then return right away the 0. Again, we are not going to show some best practices of contribution of the CPython. We're just learning something new with doing something wrong. So that's our case. And I'm going to add like string name and converting the type of the past object, which is here. So which is in our turn will be integer. So and getting the TP name from there. So if you recall, the TP name is the name of the object, and for now for us it's integer. So and checking like if it equals int, then just simply return py long from long. That should be enough for our code. And let's just compile it again. Oops. Clear. And now if we are declaring some integer and returning the len, that's it. So we have implemented two things. The returning 0 from the built-in len function, as we did here, and also returning 0 for dunder len special method. Again, we don't need returning 0 for the length of the integer, but it's crucial to understand how actually we can bravely edit the CPython source code and copy paste some code portions, then recompile it and check if it works. So that's it for this video. I think in my plan, in the next video we are going to dig into the non-type. The non-type is the most primitive the object type in the Python, but it has still have some features that we want to abuse here. Thanks, and see you in the next video.